We are back with our third part, that is of the same chapter, again plant parts and functions, in which we are going to talk about the next part of the plant, that is the leaf. Now the leaf is a flattened and a generally green in color. Of course, you all find a leaf generally green in color. There are other leaves which may be of some other color, reddish color, some might be some shaded colors. So these are the leaves which are found around us, but we generally find green color leaves. Okay, so we are going to see the different parts of the leaf in this particular slide. Now this leaf is attached with a small stalk known as petiole to the stem. You can see in the diagram which is shown besides, you can it's been the stem the is attached to the leaf with the help of petiole. Then the flat part of the leaf is known as lamina. The flattened part of the leaf is known as lamina. Then we have apex. Apex is the part which is at the tip of the lamina. The tip of the leaf is known as apex. Midrib is the middle or the major vein which is present in the center, and from where the different veins come out or branches out. Then we have venation. Venation is the arrangement of veins in a leaf. Okay, how is it arranged? So there are different kind of venations in different plants which we are going to talk about in the next slide. So I hope you all are very well known to different parts of the plant. I will repeat it once more. We have lamina, apex, midrib, and petiole is the part by which it's been attached to the stem. Now leaf venation, as I was saying, that there are different kind of venation, the arrangement of veins present on the leaf. So we have two kinds of venation, parallel venation and reticulate venation. So in parallel venation, in the diagram you can see that the leaves of grass, the veins are parallel to one another. They do not touch the lines. Parallel means what? There are two lines which are moving towards one direction, but they do not meet anywhere at any point to each other. So such kind of venation is known as parallel venation, which is generally found in maize, banana, grass. These all are the examples of parallel venations. Then we have reticulate venation. Reticulate venation is the one where there is a network of veins found. We all know that the vein comes out from the midrib. There is a middle vein which is thick one and which is very prominent and can be marked very easily. So these veins come out from the midrib and there is a network of veins formed together. They have been we can say it's like a web of a spider. They have been fixed inside each other. So such kind of venation is known as reticulate venation. It's been generally found in peepal plant. In peepal leaf you can prominently see the reticulate kind of venation. Then the next slide talks about simple and compound leaf. Now even we can see different kind of leaves present. All the plants do not have same kind of leaves. The shape of the leaves also varies. Okay, some of them may have star shaped leaf, some of them have a simple leaf, some of them have more than one leaves on one particular stem like structure. So here we are going to talk about simple and compound leaf. So simple leaf is a whole individual leaf which grows from a bud on the stem, and the node is the part from which it comes out. We have already seen this. Now in the diagram also you can see a simple leaf is only the one leaf that comes out from the branch directly, from the stem directly. But compound leaf, it's been divided into leaflets. The compound leaf, it has a small branch coming out from where there are different leaves comes out. Okay, and then this whole is known as a leaf, and the single leaflets, that are the parts divided, is known as leaflets. So it grows from an axillary bud on the stem. Axillary bud is the topmost part of the stem from where the plant grows. Okay, so these are the two kind of venation. You will study about it further in your coming classes. For now, this much introduction is enough for you. Then we have functions of stem. The first function of functions of leaf. The first function, we all are very well known to it, that is photosynthesis. We all call leaf as the kitchen of the plant. Why? Because it produces food over there. It prepares food over there in the presence of sunlight, and it even needs carbon dioxide and water for its preparation of food. So photosynthesis is a general function, common function, which is very well known to you. Then we even have an idea about the next function is transpiration. Now we have seen stomata in the first chapter also, that it helps in taking in carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen while it's been doing photosynthesis process. So stomata is an opening present in the underside of the leaf which takes in carbon dioxide. In the diagram you can see, takes in carbon dioxide and give out water and oxygen in the process of photosynthesis. This has been done during the daytime, but during night time it carries respiration process, in which again it uses the stomata for taking in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. Okay, so transpiration process is the one in which the extra water which is present, it gives out in the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. So this process of giving out water, extra water, is known as transpiration. Now transpiration, why is it needed by the plant? Because it keeps the plant or the leaf surface cool, and the process, it helps in the pulling of water from the root. If the plant or the leaf does not have extra water present in it, all the water is being expelled out in the atmosphere, it helps in pulling the water from the root surface, and for that it carries out transpiration process. Then the next topic which we are going to talk is modification of leaf. Again the same thing, modification of roots and stem we have already seen. Now this is modification of leaf. Now again leaves are also modified for some extra function. Common functions we have seen that it carries out photosynthesis and transpiration. Along with it, it does extra functions, a special function. The first is reduce loss of water. Again an example of cactus. Why cactus has spines present on it? We have seen that leaves are reduced to spines, and spines do not allow transpiration. Okay, transpiration process cannot take place through spines, and therefore these leaves are reduced to spines because the climate of desert is very hot, and here if we have the leaves which are generally present in our own region, if that's been found in hot region, hot and dry region, what will happen? The rate of transpiration will increase and the leaves will dry out. And for that, and for avoiding such conditions, the cactus has leaves which are reduced to spines, which can avoid the rate of transpiration. Okay, and which is very well suitable for him to survive in desert conditions. Then we have the next function, that is climbing. In garden pea, we have some modified thread-like structures which grow, which are also known as tendrils. You can see it in grapes also. We have already seen, which helps the plant in climbing. So this is another function, that the stem, we have seen that it's a modified function of stem also, that it helps in climbing or holding the plant on its place. The other function of leaf, some leaves are also modified into thread-like structures known as tendrils, which help it to climb on a particular surface for standing erect and for its growth. Then the next function is to store food. So onion leaves, again they are a best example, that they store food into it and they are thick and fleshy. Even we have spinach, cabbage as the leaves that are being used as food. Okay, so these are some of the example where storage of food is being done in the form of leaf. Now the next is trap insects. Now leaf is again been modified for trapping insects. Now you all have heard about insectivorous plant. Okay, these are the plants which are greenish in color, but they do not perform the function of photosynthesis for its growth, but instead of that they eat the insect, they trap the insect. Now in the picture you can see there's a pitcher plant shown where the leaf is modified into a pitcher. Pitcher means it's like a pot, we have a flower pot. The same way this pitcher plant has a pot like structure which holds, if what happens in this such kind of plants is, when an insect sits on the lid of the plant, you can see in the diagram which I have shown it to you, there is a lid present which is reddish in color, which attracts the insect towards it because of its colorful color. Then the insect come towards the lid, it sits on it. There are hair like structures inside the pitcher which holds the leg the legs of the insect get tangled up in the hairs which are present, and it starts going inside the pitcher. It gets inside the pitcher where it's been trapped, and there are some liquids present inside the pitcher plant which dilutes the insect and eats it up. So this is an example where the leaves of the plants are modified for trapping insects. Fine, I hope you have understood the function of leaf, the modified functions of leaf, and even the type of venation and the types of leaves. The next part of the chapter and the last part of it, that is the flower, we are going to talk in our next part.